Hi again, and I hope you're all well. Thanks so much for the feedback that I've been getting from these little talks. Last week, I think about 150 watches. It wasn't me all the time putting it on again and again, but according to YouTube, it was seen about 150 times. So that's wonderful. I started doing these because I was asked by friends from Bitton Park Baptist Church, but I felt all along I want different people to be able to respond and maybe reflect and listen, whether you're a Christian believer or not. I hope you'll find something useful and maybe something positive in these talks. Um, we're all in the same boat. That was a phrase that I heard a few weeks ago, and I thought, yeah, it's true. We're all having to respond to lockdown. We've all got the possibility, or maybe even the fear of picking up this awful illness. Yeah, we're all in the same boat. But then I read something else, and I thought, that really struck me. Someone wrote on social media this: we're not all in the same boat, but we are all facing the same storm. And that really kind of registered with me because, if I'm to be honest, my boat is reasonably comfortable. I'm still working, so I'm still able to earn some money, so finance isn't an issue. Um, Up until now, we're well. We've not got any underlying health problems to sort of make us worry more. We've got a garden, and I can go out in the garden. I am still running around the garden, by the way, and so that's keeping me fit. We live by the common. We're able to go out every day to do our permitted exercise walk, um, and so things are pretty good. There's a storm, but I'm really lucky. My boat's quite comfortable. And it got me thinking about other people in other boats. And I'm aware that there's probably people listening to this now who are just not as fortunate as I am. So we're facing the same storm, but we're in different boats. Um, as some of you know, I like going over to France, and sometimes on the nice, comfortable ferries that there are these days, you arrive at the port and you think, oh, it's quite windy. And you go down the water in Portsmouth and you go through the channel there, and you think, oh, this isn't too bad. But then you come out into the open sea and you can feel it, but it's kind of okay. And you think, oh, it's not as windy as I thought. But then sometimes, if you look out of of the window there, you can see that there's little boats, and they are really keeling over, and you see the waves hitting them, and they're in the same storm, but they're in a different boat. And what strikes me about that phrase and that way of looking at things is that it's not up to me to judge people who are in different boats. It's up to me to be thankful if my boat happens to be quite comfortable at the moment. And I'm finding that there is a lot of people judging others. What are they doing out? What are they doing sitting in the park? What are they doing this or doing that? And I think we're far better off if we maybe judge ourselves, but we don't bother about trying to judge others. The reality is that everyone will respond to this in a different way. Some of us have got the kind of the personality that we cope with it better than others. And so, sometimes some of the pictures that you even see on television of people crowding here, and you think, no, they shouldn't be doing that. But I think one of the important things is let's not get that make us uptight, but let's sort of relax in all of that. I've got a story that came out of there from the Bible that I thought I'd read about a storm and a boat. And it's in Mark's Gospel, chapter 4, and from verse 35. The day when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There was also other boats with him. A furious squall came up and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and they asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Now there's loads of things I don't understand. I don't understand why we're going through what we're going through. I don't understand, if I'm a believer in God, why, if there's a God, such terrible things are happening. But one thing I do believe is that God cares about us, and the disciples had to sort of take that in there. There they were in this boat with Jesus, and a storm, a squall, it says in what I read, a storm started raging, and they found Jesus was asleep, and they were panicking, and they thought, "Don't you care about us?" But the answer is, and it's where I find hope. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know how long life's going to be like this. We all want to get through this. Most of us will. Some people sadly won't. But I do believe that in it all, that God does care about us, and he is there to bring us peace, even in situations where there could easily be no peace, even through the storm. So I hope your boat's okay at the moment. I hope hope we keep afloat, and do think of those who are in a boat not as comfortable as yours. Perhaps we need to find a way of throwing a life raft and a lifebelt to some people. Perhaps there's people that you could be encouraging and supporting and helping in some way. If that's the case, can I encourage you to do it? Hope to talk to you again next week. Bye now.